Hello, my name is Perla Gonzalez. Today I'm going to be talking about the American photographer James Casebere. Um, Here's a little quote that he himself did in one of his books that I guess called The Second Half of the 20th Century. And here, this is what it states. In the second half of the 20th century, American children often had toys to play with and learn from. They went to school, did chores, grew up, left home to prove themselves, and sometimes made home of their own. These things tried to go on forever. Amazing quote. I mean, I just think it describes his work, and I think basically he's referring to as the 30-year plus he has with construction photography that he's done, like all these neighborhoods and prison architecture stuff that he has built. And I think it's just to represent his inner child. Moving on to a little bit about his background. He was born in Lansing, Michigan in 1953. But he was raised in Detroit. Then he went to Michigan State University, but then transferred to Minneapolis College Art and Design, where he earned his bachelor's in fine arts. In the fall of 1977, he went to Whitney Independent School Program located in New York. In 1979, he earned his master's in fine arts from Cal Arts. Since then, in the 1990s, he has lived and worked at Fourth Green, a neighborhood of Brooklyn. He also lives with his artist wife Lorna Simpson and daughter Zora. A little bit about his career. He has worked a lot with postmodern era, 1980s that it started. He has worked with artists such as Cindy Sherman, Lauren Simon, James Willing, and many more that the list goes on. Casebere has constructed tabletop constructions, and he has done this over 30 years plus. And till this day, he still keeps on working with it. One of the things he did focus on a lot was the American suburban home, which is based on the American West myth. During the 1990s, he also did a lot of flooded images. He would construct buildings and just fill them up with water and take pictures. Also, during the 1990s is when he focused a lot of architecture work, such as prisons, tunnels, and so on. After the 9/11 tragedy, he decided to work on a lot of the Spain and Eastern Mediterranean, which his first work was inspired by the 10th century Andalusia because of the cooperation between Islamic, Jewish, and Christian cultures. He has only done one solo exhibition so far in his career. I mean, he's still alive. He can still do more, but so far he only has one, which is at Southwestern Center for Contemporary Art in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. If you ever feel like you want to go, it's North Carolina. One of his first pictures that he says, I guess it has to do with the construction he's done, his neighborhood, what he believed in, inner kid, like he would just build little things that kids we used to play with, especially girls, their Barbies in their little home. This is basically just a neighborhood with a baseball field, daily thing that a regular community would do. This next one is a building with a lot of piled up rocks. Maybe this is during the century that he decided to work with Spain and the Eastern Mediterranean, but like I said, most of his work looks so real that he constructed that you never know. This next one, I guess it was called The Life of Saving Station, which as you can see, it looks so real. Sometimes it can be the town, you can see the mountains, it's a solo home, dirt, nothing seems to be surrounding it, even the clouds. I mean, it looks amazing, but this is actually was constructed with his own hand. It was all just simple material, nothing drastic. This one right here is another of his amazing works. He takes time, like you can see the park, you can see the trees. It's just a neighborhood, the little street in the background. It's just amazing work that he does. Right here is a video from lower left. I'm guessing this is again when he was working with Spain and Eastern Mediterranean. It's just a hallway, but as you can see, the light just goes in. It's perfect. It's just amazing. It goes from dark to light. Amazing work from him. Right here, this was a Minka with dirt and fog. At first, I thought it was like a lot of, I guess you can say skeletons, like smushed up to get into pieces, but I guess it's dirt with fog. And I'm guessing it's something that he built in himself and just take picture like with everything else that he does. This right here is just a picture of a dorm, something empty, but I think the way I would look at it is most like, when you buy a new home and you're like, what to do with this, just full of imagination, like, oh, bed here, door here, like just work with it and just make it your own. This right here is when he started working in the 1990s with his architecture buildings and just filled them up with water. Nobody really knows what was his idea of building them up and working with water. I mean, he just did it, built it, took a picture, and voila, there's that. As you can see, the reflection in the walls of the water. Another one, this is called the yellow hallway. I guess it's picture number 2. So you can see it's just like floor is checkers. You can't really see like it's symmetrical. Um, I'm guessing it's called the yellow hall because you can see it's yellow and it's full with water. Amazing work by him. This one's a full-blooded arcs from Ride with Fog. I guess it was in the 1999. As you can see, it's full of water. I would have never thought that this was actually not real. I just thought he would have probably went under a ton and took a picture, but it's actually constructed by him and he just took the picture. This next one is called the Sea of Ice. As you can see, it looks like ice. I thought I would believe it's something that you would probably find and want to go take a picture of in Antarctica. But no, it's something he built, put together, and you get this amazing picture. This next one is once again the Lighthouse, and as you can see what he did, first it was like light, no snow, it's just a solo house, but now you have night, snow with lights, and you just would think he probably is a place where he would travel again and took the picture, but no, he constructed and he just changed the details and added more and just made it to night with snow, which I think is beautiful. This one's one of my favorite pictures because it just like the setting of it makes me feel peace, at ease, like it's just where I would like to go, on a run. Like the ocean looks so real, the mountains, the rocks, the pines, the sky. It's just great. And then this is a stairwell. As you can see, you can't really see the ending. It's part of her life. We never really can see the ending of her life. It's just you keep on going and going and going until you hit. This one right here is just a picture of a neighborhood, I guess, probably during the nighttime. When I saw this, I believe that reminded me of the movies of the 1960s, silent movies. It's all dark, black and white. But he constructed this, and it's just what he does is black and white. Amazing work by him. His significance that he was considered a contemporary artist and photographer. He did 30-year plus of constructed photography. He did a lot of American mythologies, like the one I mentioned earlier was the American suburb based on the American West. And even though he has only one exhibition so far, his work is actually collected worldwide. A lot of people might not really know about him, but I just think his work is amazing, even though some people think it's strange. He has a lot of beautiful pictures, and I think it's amazing what he does. And basically, like his quote states in the beginning, he basically concentrated his work on kids, representing what they do or what they used to do, because nowadays it's full of technology and all of that. But this is James Casebere for you, and hope you enjoyed it.